common thing that happens in anime is the way characters are pretty much designed to look weak. Normally they would look, badass, but more on the side of being your typical average protagonist who somehow has tremendous amount of power. And speaking of power, I think the enemies, they especially are in it for some big surprise if they ever, encounter and decide to underestimate the protagonist. So today I thought it would be a nice idea to showcase to you all 10 anime series with a weak looking but overpowered main character. If you're new around here, then please make sure you are subscribed to the channel with the notifications bell icon turned on. Stay up to date with the latest anime news and recommendations right at your doorstep. Now, without keeping you all waiting, let us begin with the video. Allow me to introduce you all to our first anime on this list, and that is the world's finest assassin gets reincarnated. Possibly one of the most standout isekai series with a story that is so enjoyable about a legendary assassin who gets reincarnated into a child's body, sustaining and also keeping all his skills and talents from his previous life to carry it over to his new self in order to, just complete the one and only job he is here for, and that is to eliminate the hero of the other world. I've seen plenty of generic and same old, isekai tropes in series, used a lot, the same thing over and over, but this one is quite different. While the protagonist may be somewhat powerful, he can only use his, arsenal of weaponry and assassination techniques. Meanwhile, others can use magic. So the protagonist could be at a little bit of a disadvantage in some way, but will he actually manage to somehow counteract those enemies with magical powers? Definitely check out the world's finest assassin. Next up on the list is Kubukiri Cycle. A lot of people don't really recommend this as this, such a hidden gem out there with, so many other anime series, since it's an OVA series containing only 8 episodes. Hence why many don't really know or have even heard of it. If there is one thing I'd describe this anime, it's definitely its beauty side, since it's created by Studio Shaft. These days though, quality animated series are key to hooking in a lot of the audience, deciding to watch it. And it's truly a shame, it's not on the radar of many people, hence why I wanted to add it on this list for many of you to check it out.
おはようだね。どうも。ダメだね。朝の挨拶はおはようだよ。私は別に早くないか。
This isn't some anime you can just watch while you're, half asleep, but I truly recommend trying it out and just to focus on what is going on to get a better understanding on its very interesting story. Slow build up, but it's so worth the trip.
手早く片付けましょう。
Peach Boy Riverside. At first, hearing this title, it definitely sounds like some boys band, but other than that, this is actually a crazy good series I recommend to you all. Following a female protagonist named Sally, wielding the power on her eye that looks like a peach, allowing her to beat enemies with such ease, turning her into a completely different being, and when I mean different, well, she becomes almost immortal. So she gains this, tremendous superhuman abilities to defend people in towns from dangerous beasts known as ogres who wish to just destroy humans and settlements in general. Basically, the whole show is about monsters and humans unable to coexist together and run into many conflicts if possible, while Sally just wants to change that so the two sides can hopefully in one day live in peace. Now, I've never actually ever included this anime in a list before, and I guarantee you have never seen this one, so why don't I start with showcasing an anime called KARNEVAL. This anime aired back in 2013, and many claim it to be quite the mysterious series. And what I mean by, how the series is mysterious, that it just comes together through its plot and theme, and most importantly, the characters of the mysterious circus. It spells out mystery in a variety of ways through its fantasy and its, elegant atmosphere. The series has that fantasy background with just majestic themes and how it focuses on a mysterious group known as the Circus. Its mystical atmosphere might not be something for avid fans of shonen action or, other genres to get used to, so it could be a hit or miss for many people, but that doesn't mean you won't enjoy what it has to offer. now we move on to probably one of the most popular recent isekai series that aired and also coming soon with a second season, and that is Moonlit Fantasy. Following a character named Makoto, he gets, isekai'd and sent to another world by a goddess who laughs at his ass for just being a completely ugly person in her eyes. And quite the harsh start if you ask me, but of course it's for a good reason. Makoto looks like your average weakling who stays at level 1 pretty much for the majority of the series, but secretly, he is one of the most powerful characters in the series, and the goddess has decided to put him in a world that has barred him from interacting with his kind, so it may be quite hard for Makoto to journey without making friends or even companions. Now, imagine the comedy style of Konosuba, the world building of slime, the power fantasy like Overlord, and a bit of dark aspects here and there like ReZero. Makoto has a meme harem with a couple of waifus that are so unique, so quirky, with lots of personalities. The plot progresses very rapidly as well, and the world is established so quickly, making it very well paced and such an enjoyable for many people to watch. Battle Game in 5 Seconds is an anime I never thought that I'd actually enjoy at all, but turns out I actually did. A lot of people say that the manga is great, but having the addition, of CGI during some fights in the anime itself kind of puts it slightly down. But other than that, the anime delivers great action, simple but effective story to our powerful protagonist with a unique power unlike others have. Take this anime as if it's a death game, which it is actually. Players compete against each other in a variety of games or even 1v1 battles to the death, featuring quite the annoying cat girl host who is at the level of annoyance like, let's say, Monokuma from Danganronpa. But it's great in every way and I highly recommend it. I think it's time to introduce a little bit of a different anime into the list, and that this time it's a Chinese anime series that has taken some audience by surprise with how actually good it is. Chinese anime aren't as popular as Japanese anime. I think we can get that out of the way first, but some are great and worth watching and checking out in general, just like this anime called Spare Me Great Lord. This is a story of an orphan named Lushu who experiences life-changing events with his younger sister after a new magical era had fallen on them as they encounter supernatural events, obstacles that feature powerful beings and enemies, and super cool abilities never seen before. This all sounds like a blast of an adventure, which it truly is. Up next on the list is an anime series called Gleipnir. This is quite a big mystery series that still needs a continuation after that cliffhanger ending we got on the first season, but I really found this anime to be super enjoyable. When I mentioned mystery, well, the plot it comes in quite interesting actually. The main character is your average nerdy looking guy who gains the ability to transform one day into a creature, almost like someone wearing a mascot of some sort, and there must be a different reason as to why, he became this monster in the first place. The interesting thing is that an alien from another planet crashed his ship onto this planet, and just a bunch of coins scattered around the area, and people with special powers, like the main character, they've decided to pretty much volunteer to retrieve those coins, and whoever brings him enough coins shall be granted a wish. Any wish they want. Who is that alien? What is his plan? And what happens after he gets all his coins? Now that is what I call a mystery to solve.
刀一振りを手に銃弾飛び交う紛争地帯を駆け抜ける英雄
This anime here is called Superhuman High Schoolers Are in Another World, which has quite a large number of protagonists who each get killed in their very own tragic events and get isekai to a different world with special powers at their disposal. The thing is about this is that the students are actually famous people around the world, and using their skills, they will help the village for their hospitality and in the end find a way to return back home, if they choose to go back home. But, you know, let's be honest, who the hell wants to go back to reality and not live in a cool fantasy world? I mean, come on. This anime combines a lot of fantasy elements, action, and even slice of life moments when it comes to exploring the world and getting to know the characters overall, as there are quite a few of them to get to know. Overall though, it's a pretty fun series. I think you will really enjoy it. Now finally on this list we have is a wholesome yet epic show called HINAMATSURI. This is a story of a Yakuza wealthy man who experiences a life-changing event after a little space pod crashed into his house randomly, and out of the space pod comes a little girl from a different planet with psychic abilities. She can't really return home and doesn't really have anywhere else to go, thus she was left with no other choice but to live with the strange man after trusting him.
力は常に使わないと暴走する。
そういうのは早く言え。
Nita, who is the male protagonist, sees Hina as, you know, just a little asset where if he runs into any trouble, then Hina could help him out by using her powers. Considering that she doesn't use her powers on him in the end, or even betray him. Let's just hope that doesn't happen though. The series will be showcasing a lot of, you know, bonding relationships between those two characters, and also other important side characters in the series, making this one hell of an adventure you won't forget. It truly never fails to just bring a smile to my face when a weak-looking character gets bullied, to then striking fear into the enemy with some powerful surprise. If there is any other anime I might have, you know, missed that was worth adding to the list, then comment down below, as I'd love to hear your opinion, or just simply comment down what you thought about the video in general. But as always, thank you all so much for watching, drop a like if you did enjoy, and I'll be seeing you all in the next one.